season of the witch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the YS channel. So today, just in time for Halloween, we have an awesome review for you guys. So today's movie we're reviewing is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Or as I like to call it, Halloween, the one that doesn't belong. So this is clearly the most misunderstood entry in the entire Halloween franchise. It is a complete departure from the whole Michael Myers-centered plots of all the other movies. Instead, it offers a unique and thrilling storyline that keeps viewers, kind of hooked on, the content they're watching here. So sit back, grab some popcorn, let's break down this underrated horror movie.
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch follows Dr. Daniel Challis, played by the talented Tom Atkins, as he embarks on a mysterious journey to uncover a sinister plot behind a popular Halloween mask company. The film takes place in a small town of Santa Mira, where the Silver Shamrock Novelties company is preparing to release a new line of masks just in time for Halloween. However, as the holiday approaches, Dr. Challis begins to notice strange occurrences and unsettling behavior from the company's owner, Conal Cochran, played by the enigmatic Dan Hurley. I can't pronounce that.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, Daniel Hurley. Yeah, that's a mouthful there. Anyhow, so Dr. Challis delves deeper into the mystery surrounding Silver Shamrock again, the company, right? He uncovers a dark and twisted plan to sacrifice innocent children using masks as a means of control. And then with time running out, Challis must race against the clock to stop Cochran and his diabolical scheme before it's too late. Obviously, the tension will build to the climax of the movie. And then it has a somewhat suspenseful climax, which is, again, it's not a stark departure from the Halloween series, but the way this is done is a huge departure. So, just pressing on here with, the analysis of some of the characters, right?
One of the more fascinating aspects of the sequel is its complex, intriguing characters. Tom Atkins delivers a stellar performance as Dr. Challis, a flawed yet determined protagonist who is willing to go to great lengths to uncover the truth behind Silver Shamrock. Atkins' portrayal of Challis as a man haunted by his past, driven by a sense of duty, adds depth and nuance to the character, making him a compelling and relatable lead. Although, on the other hand, Dan O'Hurley shines as Conal Cochran, the sinister mastermind behind the nefarious plot. O'Hurley's portrayal of Cochran as a charming yet calculating villain is chilling and captivating, drawing viewers in with his charisma. The dynamic between Challis and Cochran is electric, with the director bringing their A game to create a tense, engaging rivalry that keeps the audience on the edge of their seats.
All right. So, one of the biggest departures is pretty much the themes. So, unlike the first two entries in the series, which were directed by John Carpenter, this one is not. Now, he's listed as a producer for this one, but he didn't direct any of it. Yeah, his involvement was very minimal, to my understanding. So, in this one, talks about the themes of consumerism, the dangers of technology, and the loss of individuality as overarching themes. And it explores the idea of society blindly following trends and materialism, as seen through the hypnotic influence of the Silver Shamrock mask that the children end up getting in their possession. And the masks themselves is supposed to serve as a symbol of conformity, amongst the children and that of society. Excuse me. Again, huge departure from the whole slasher, style of Michael Myers just stabbing people to death. Being the unstoppable force of evil that he is. However, this is different now. Now you're talking about just weird themes of just spirituality and other mystic mysticisms associated with like the season of Halloween. So two is the idea of ancient pagan rituals and their connection to modern day traditions, highlighting the dark underbelly of the Halloween and its origins. Which, if you really think about it, this is really more of a Halloween movie than the Michael Myers Halloween movies, as it actually addresses the origins of the holiday and the season.
Well, one of the things that stand out from this movie is actually the visuals and atmospheric soundtrack. Director Tommy Lee Wallace expertly crafts a sense of forbidding intention throughout the movie, using shadowy lighting and eerie landscapes to create a sense of unease. The iconic Silver Shamrock jingle, composed by composer John Carpenter and Alan Haworth, adds to the sense of dread and impending doom, with its catchy yet sinister tune becoming a calling card for the film.
Yeah, so this movie here, again, as we've been talking about, giant departure from what we know as the Halloween movies, right? There's no Michael Myers acting like as the undead boogeyman that can just kill you and show up whenever he wants. So, one of the reasons why when this movie was released and it didn't do well at all, they got a horrible reaction, was it's a Halloween movie. You know, when in fact it should have just been a standalone movie. Now, the idea with this one was, when this was pitched and, when John Carpenter was producing it and everything, the idea was to make the Halloween movie franchise like an overarching anthology of different movies and, possibly even like TV specials and shit associated with the Halloween holiday and season. Like each movie would explore a different aspect of, the pagan origins of Halloween and all that kind of, scary crap that we associate with it, right? Obviously, with the performance of this movie, they quickly went back to the Michael Myers route and has never turned back. Which, it's a shame, because as a standalone movie, like if this was not part of the Halloween franchise, it's actually a decent movie.
Well, I have to agree. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Like, I like when a franchise does try something different, and then years later, it's appreciated by the fans, because like there's been other franchises that done something different. For example, Star Wars did something different with Rogue One. That movie everyone liked instantly, but they tried something different compared to the other Star Wars films, which relied on the Jedi to get their message across. And then the cult classic Godzilla vs. Biollante is a clear departure from the typical Godzilla movies at the time. Like it's just out there. So Halloween 3 is like the Biollante of the Halloween franchise, if you had to ask me.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So this is really more like a thriller, like a suspense thriller, and they kind of add a coat of horror genre paint to it, But all in all, this is actually a decent movie. I won't go as far as calling it a great one. I mean, there's issues with like the pacing and the plot. It's one of those, it's not for everybody, right? Either it's one of those ones where like the casual viewer ain't gonna be drawn into it necessarily,
right?
But that doesn't make it a terrible movie. Again, I won't go as far as calling it a great one, but there you have it. So, Halloween 3 in a nutshell, it's the one that doesn't belong in the franchise. It's the black sheep of a franchise. Yes. With that said, as far as ranking the Halloween movies goes, I'm not sure where I would rank this one. Because it really doesn't fit the franchise. But at the same time, it is better than all the Halloween movies. So the next one that they released, I think, came out in like '86 or '88, and it was just something called Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. Right. So all the ones that were released between that point in time and then when Rob Zombie got a hold of the franchise, all those were like garbage sequels.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of those sequels on TV years ago, and the fact that they were having a hard time just shooting their guns at Mike Myers, it was kind of hilarious. Like he's like right there, shoot him.
Yeah, they kind of suffered the fate of like the Hellraiser franchise. They just made a bunch of fucking stupid, poorly received like sequels, and then it got rebooted with Rob Zombie. Right? He did a decent job. I mean, he did as good of a job you can do with the source material and doing your own thing with it that anybody could have done. And then, again, if you like our reviews, drop a like, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Yes. Until the next time, later, y'all.
Later, people.
Fuck you, Cameron.